Dear fellow coders, welcome to One Little Coder. I'm starting a new series called 8 Days of Streamlit. So I'm just hoping that 8 and Streamlit rhymes. If you think that this is a terrible name, please let me know. But this series, I'm trying to build one Streamlit application every single day. It could have machine learning, it might not have machine learning, but every single day for the next 8 days, we are going to build a Streamlit application. And to kick off my 8 Days of Streamlit series, I'm going to build something that is going to probably ruin the party for a lot of people, but also to help people like me who are not native English speaker. So you might have seen this Wordle game on Twitter. A lot of people are playing it, but it's not as easy as it seems for non-native English speaker. For example, today I really struggled to find the word. So I thought, why not use your Python skill and also Streamlit skill to build a very simple application that may not solve the problem for you, but it can give you clues. So what I'm calling this is a Wordle rescuer. I don't know why did I come up with that name. Maybe it's because of the time that I'm past midnight. So I wanted to just come up with some weird name. So Wordle rescuer is what we are going to build today using simple Python and Streamlit. And we are going to deploy this application on Streamlit Cloud. Yes, I'm going to completely cover starting from the base code, uploading it to GitHub, and also deploying it on Streamlit Cloud. So if this something interests you, please let me know in the comment section and let's get started. First of all, this is how the app looks like. So you have this place, this is just a simple image, and then you have like 5 boxes where you can enter the words that the letters that you think you have like got the letters from the Wordle game. So you know the game rules, right? So if you type some 5-letter word, if the letter matches with that particular position, you get a green color. If it matches in any position, you get a yellow color. If it doesn't match, then you get this gray color. And we are not looking at positions here in this box. We're simply looking at any letter. For example, a couple of days back, there was a word called query. So I didn't know how to guess that. So what I might have done is I might have guessed E, U, and probably somewhere I might have guessed Q, let's say. And in the meanwhile, I might have also left certain words like, let's say A, B, C. So now I can give the letters I guessed correctly, and I can give the letters I did not guess correctly, and I have the result, and I can scroll down and then see, for example, right now it has 43 words that are given as suggestions to you, and you can pick which one is the right. Okay, so query is one of that, and then that is the right answer based on the position of the letter. So like I said, this is not to ruin anybody's party, happiness, that quest that you have, the thirst you have for English, but this is to help people like me who are like at a point, if we are stuck, if we do not have any way. So this is like a simple application, but at the same time, why not learn Python and Streamlit through this? So if you think I'm disturbing your peace in playing this game, my apologies for that. Please excuse me for that. So now I'm going to show you the code that I used to build this Streamlit application. First of all, if you do not know about Streamlit, I've got a lot of videos about Streamlit. I have a playlist about Streamlit. You should definitely check it out. Streamlit is this amazing Python application, Python library that helps you build simple web applications. You do not need Flask, you do not need Django, you do not need all of this sophisticated JavaScript frameworks to build a front-end application. So if you're a data scientist, if you're a machine learning engineer, all you need is Streamlit. That makes it easy for you to build dashboards, data science applications, machine learning applications, and whatnot. So this is how the code is going to look like. So I've got a VS Code, Visual Studio Code editor. So I've got a folder in which I've got 2 files. One is my requirements.txt file. Here we are using 2 Python libraries. One is NLTK, the second one is Streamlit, and then we have got the main file that we call as streamlit_app.py. So this is the file that we are using to power this application. So basically this web application is powered by this code. As you might have seen, this is not even 50 lines of Python code. So I mean, like I've given new break lines, I've given all these things. So even then I've not even reached 50 lines. You know that how simple and easy Streamlit is if you see even the number of lines of Python code. So we're going to go one by one, line by line. I'm going to explain you why I've written something and why is it there, and I'm also going to show you the front-end component of it. Now you might ask me, hey, why don't you code while I'm seeing this thing? That's actually a good thing. A lot of people appreciate it, but at the same time a lot of people do not appreciate it, because sometimes I might be making very silly mistakes, and then that might frustrate people who already know those basic stuff. So that's why what I've done is, before making this video, I made this application, made sure this is right, and I'm going to show you every single line. So this is a typical video without any mistake, but that is not how I code. So I go to Stack Overflow, I search online, I make mistakes, terrible mistakes, and even sometimes for loop I forget, list comprehension I forget. So I just want to give a clear picture that I do not code perfectly. I use all these online resources. So when you watch this video, please do not assume or think that I've coded this 50 lines without any problem or any assistance. That's not the case. I've used all the resources on the planet, Stack Overflow, and then coded this thing. But when you see this video, you will not see any of those hiccups, because I've made the code already ready and I've tested it everything, so that you can go without any blocker. So seamlessly you can code this while you're watching this video. Also, as a tip, if you want to improve your coding skill, just please do not watch this video for your entertainment or like a therapy, but keep this video in one screen or half of your screen simultaneously. Open your VS Code and then start coding while you're watching this video. That will definitely help you improve your Streamlit skills. That's what the whole point of 8 days of Streamlit series. Okay, now enough of all these meta information. Now let's get started. So the first thing that you need to make sure is that you have to install these two Python libraries. You have to install NLTK, you have to install Streamlit. If you do not know how to do those things, it's quite simple. You have to open your terminal or command prompt and then say pip install or pip3 install if you're on Mac, and say NLTK. And if you want to install Streamlit, you have to say pip3 install Streamlit. So this is basically what you have to do to install these two libraries. And the third library that we are using here, which is called re, that is for regex, that comes by default, but I think I'm not using regex anywhere. So yep, right now I don't need this. I changed the approach while I was iterating on the code, so you don't need this. So basically you need two Python libraries. One is Streamlit, the second one is NLTK. So import Streamlit as ST is quite a standard thing. So this is for web app, and then NLTK is for English words, and NLTK words is to get 5-letter words. So we have 3 lines of Python codes. The first one we are importing Streamlit, the second one we are importing NLTK. That will help us download the dictionary or called corpus, and then the third one is from NLTK corpus. We are going to import the words, which we are going to filter to say that I want only the 5-letter words. Why? Because this game is only about 5-letter words, at least at this point. Maybe there are a lot of variations that might pop up soon, but right now everything that people play on Twitter, it's basically 5-letter word. So that is the purpose of these 3 lines, like where you are importing different components from these libraries. Next, you want to give a very nice title. So this is the title that I've got, Wordle Rescuer. So I wanted to initially call it Rescuer, but then I thought, okay, what if it's a clue, right? It's not actually rescuing you completely. So I just have this new name. So st.title is something that will give you the title here, and also will give you the title here as an HTML application when you deploy it. So the next thing is, I wanted to have a small nice image here. So this image that you see, I got it from the internet, I think probably from this website, dixeto.com. So I got this image from that website, and then I've just simply used st.image. So this is the title of the app, and the next one is this is to display the image of Wordle game. I think I should probably stop calling it this is, but that's fine. So the next thing is, like, after that we have shown the image. So the next line of code, that what it does is download the dictionary, English words dictionary. So basically you want to use NLTK to download this words, the list of words or corpus, whatever you call it. I'm caching it because I think, like, every time when somebody fires up this application, we don't want to download it every time. So that's the whole point of st cache. So this is to cache cache the download process. Okay, and now after we downloaded, what we are going to do is we are going to say I want only the 5-letter words. So I'm going to take all the words from this, which I'm going to access this with this words, the function or the method that gives me all the words, all the English words that are available in NLTK dictionary. And then we are going to specifically say if the length of a particular word is equal to 5, which means like if the length of the word is 5, then take that word and put it in this new list called 5 letters. So this is create a new list with only 5-letter words. Okay, so after we do that, so the next thing that I want to do is, at this point there is nothing on the front end, all these are backend, like we are preparing our data for doing this matching. So right now we have our dictionary in place, 5-letter word list in place. So the next thing that we want is we want to get the input data from the user. So we want 5 different boxes where user can input their data, which is like a single character, right? So to make it slightly more intuitive like the game, so we are trying to create 5 Streamlit columns. So you can see first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column. So the same way we have 5 columns here. So to make that a 5 column, I'm using st.columns, create a 5-column space or grid, I should call it grid, that's probably appropriate. And then I'm calling it, the 5 column is A, B, C, D, E. So these are like the names of the 5 column. So if I want to put anything in this side, the first column, I have to say with A, I'm going to put this inside the first column. With B means it's going to go into the second column. With C means it's going to go into the third column. With D means it's going to go to the fourth, and with E means it's going to go to the fifth column. So that's how this is arranged, this. So what do we want to put it inside the column? That's a very good question, right? We want to ask or get the user input in the form of a text. So Streamlit has a component called st.text_input. So this is a component, Streamlit component, that helps you collect text from user. One thing that you have to notice, I'm not handling any test cases here. For example, if somebody types 2 letters here, it wouldn't work because I'm not handling the test case here. So these are like enhancements you can do after you watch this video. But at this point, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to collect text input and the label of the text input. Label is quite important for the CSS component. Like when this web application is deployed, somewhere there is an ID that is associated with that, and you can see those IDs here. And label is important for that, and the label says first. Okay, so likewise I'm going to call first, second, third, and fourth and fifth. So that is label for the Streamlit component text input. So the next thing that I'm doing is I want to add some default values, like why to leave the user think what to do there. So if you put some characters in there, they might actually know, oh, probably this is a place where I have to add the characters. So you don't even need a user manual. So to make it easier for the user, I'm adding values here. So I think for 3 components, for 3 text boxes, I'm adding a value here. And for the 4th one, I'm not adding any value. So that's why you would see this is empty. And for the 5th one, I'm adding a default value here. So what does it mean? It means anytime you load the Streamlit application, let me reload it. You can see that 1, 2, 3, it has these default values A, B, E, and then the 4th one doesn't have anything, and then the 5th one has T. So this is again basically making it easier for us to call the values, the default value, so it's more intuitive for the user experience. And the label part, you can see the labels here: first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I think I've made a typo here at the 5th. I'm going to edit it and save it, and then I'm going to rerun it. You can see 5th, correct. So now after we get all these things, I'm just trying to print the word here saying clue. So I'm calling it clue, where I'm just combining, which is string concatenation. I'm just using plus operator, operator overloading by this time. So I'm just using the plus operator to combine all the letters: first letter, second letter, third letter, fourth letter, fifth letter. After I combine all these things, I'm calling a new section called clue. So let me call it combine all the letters. And before this, even I have to say get user input. Currently doesn't handle number of characters. So this is a room for improvement for you. So the next thing is, now I'm combining all the letters and I'm making the clue. So I'm displaying what is the clue. For example, if I do not have B here, you can see that clue does not have B as well. So this is basically to give the user a feedback that whatever you have entered, okay, this is what we have got, and for this is what we are going to search through the dictionary to give you clues. So the next thing is, we want to say what are the exclusion letters. If you see the game, it's not just what you get right, it's also what is important is also what you do not get right, all these gray items. Now all these gray items go into this exclusion letters, and I'm going to call them exclusion letter. Once again, as you might have rightly guessed, we are getting exclusion letters where the gray grids are. Okay, so now all these exclusion letters, instead of getting as individual characters, now this is one text input, and anybody can come and just type something there. Like I can come and type ABD here, but make sure that you don't have this letter here, because ideally it cannot be the case, right? So that's why something you need to make sure that that letter is not here, and this is all about exclusion. So now make sure this and this do not have any common letters, but then if you type this, then you should have the clues ready in the next section. So exclusion letter is the section, and then next section is the clue section, which is the most important 4 lines of Python code in this particular code piece. So now to display the clues, what I'm showing is, you can see that it is a list. It is a Python list. So I can just simply print it as it is, or I can show a table. I have a lot of options, but I just chose a very easy method just to show a list. So for that, I'm creating an empty list. Okay, so this is, okay, I just said this is empty list to show all the clue words. Okay, so now after we have this empty list, the core engine, the main part of this code is, what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to iterate for every 5-letter word. So this is what we have, right? So we have a list of 5-letter words. So I'm saying for every 5-letter word, if 2 conditions should be met. Okay, so condition number 1, condition number 2. Condition number 1 is about inclusion. Condition number 2 is about exclusion. So remember this. Condition number 1 is about inclusion. Condition number 2 is about exclusion. In the inclusion section, you can see that I've used the function called all to say that all the letters that are given here, which is the clue letter, right, should be in the word. And in the exclusion, I'm saying any of these letters that are given in exclusion should not be in the word. So that's why we have not. We have an and condition, we have a not condition, and then we have exclusion and we have inclusion. Inclusion, make sure all the letters are there by using all function. Exclusion, make sure any of the letter is not there by using a not condition and any function. So I hope this is clear, and whoever or whatever word is met with this condition becomes true, we are appending that word to the list, the master list that we have, which is clue underscore result. At this point, we have a list of the words that meet our condition, and we are just simply printing out that list using st.write. So print the output list of clues. Save it. After you save it, I'll show you how to run a Streamlit application. You fire up your terminal. My application is already running, so I'm going to stop it, clear it. So you just have to say Streamlit run, and then you have to call the name with which you have created the application. So if it is main.py, call it main.py. If it is app.py, call it app.py. If in my case, I've called it Streamlit underscore app.py, so I'm calling it Streamlit underscore app.py. And then you can see that this is already loading, and this is the URL that you have got, the localhost URL. Copy and paste it here. You have this and ready. So for example, if I want to show you a demo, few days back, one of the word that had was BANAL. So as a non-native English speaker, it was quite difficult for me to find out. So I know A is a letter, I know B is a letter, I know N is a letter. So now I do not know T is a letter, so that's fine. So I want to add some exclusions. For example, I'm going to say S was not there, T was not there, X was not there, V was not there, F was not there, G was not there, H was not there. So I'm going to give all these exclusion, like P was not there. I'm going to give all this exclusion and then type enter and then see if it is giving me any suggestion. So currently at this point I've got 69 suggestion. Let's say that I did not want to look at the words that starts with A. So let's say that now I know that the first letter is B. So all I have to do is I have to go to the section that starts with B, and then I have to see all these things and then make sure that the position match. So now I know, okay, maybe I know that the third letter is N. So now I have two options. So I think I have like multiple options here, and then you just have to use your colors and then select the right word and then try it out. So once again, like I said, this is to assist you, not to give you the entire solution. So this is not to ruin your party, but to help you if you are stuck and you have no clue what that word is, because you are not a native English speaker. So all this philosophy is fine. At this point, we have a fully functional Streamlit web application that can help you with our Wordle game is ready. Wordle game is ready. So now I'm going to show you the next part of how to deploy this web application on Streamlit Cloud. So if you have never heard about Streamlit Cloud, let me quickly show you Streamlit Cloud. And if you go, so you can read more about Streamlit Cloud. So Streamlit Cloud is one of the fastest way that you have to deploy your Streamlit application. So there are a lot of different tiers, a lot of different plans. You can choose the plan that works for you. So you have a community plan, which is what I'm currently using, and you have a team plan, you have an enterprise plan. So what you have to do is you have to sign up for it. After you sign up for it, you would see a screen that looks like this. In my case, I've logged into Streamlit Cloud with my GitHub repository. So after I log in, this is what I would have. Like I already have two Streamlit applications running on Streamlit Cloud. So you can see those tutorials on my channel. But right now we want to deploy a new application. So when you want to deploy a new application, go here and click. And as you can see, you need to have this code on a GitHub repository for you to deploy it on Streamlit Cloud. So the next step we want to do is we need to go to GitHub, create a new repository, and after you create a new repository, you have to upload all the files here. So let me go back and then make sure that I saved it. I'll come back, get all the files, and then I am going to upload it here. So after I upload it here, I can just say, okay, uploading with some minor changes. This is commit message changes, and then I'm going to commit it. After I commit it, you can see that this file would get uploaded here. So the next thing is, now our repository is complete. The main components that we need is we need the main app file, and after we have the app file, then we have the requirements.txt file that tells the Streamlit engine or Streamlit Cloud what are the libraries, Python libraries that we have used in this Python script, the code. Next, go to your Streamlit Cloud, and then you can either paste your GitHub URL or you can just type it. So in my case, I'm going to say Wordle Rescuer, so the name of my application, and then the main branch, the branch from which the file has to be picked, and the name of the file is streamlit_app.py. If the name of your file is, let's say, main.py or something else, just edit the name. In my case, this is the name. Now all I have to do is click the button deploy, and then you might start seeing some magic happening. The magic is basically you're going to get a cloud space where this app is getting deployed. You can see provisioning machine is getting provisioned, and all the individual libraries that we have used in this code as a dependency will get installed, and then finally this app would be ready for us to use, or anybody on the planet to use. So it might take a couple of seconds, like for example less than a minute, I think. But meanwhile, I would like to show you the wonderful Streamlit documentation where you can learn more about these components. For example, if you do not know what is a Streamlit cache would do, then you can just go to the document and then say, okay, Streamlit cache, and then you can search for it. You have like documentation, and also you have Streamlit community, so you can go here and then read more about it. Okay, optimize performance with Streamlit cache, and also Streamlit lets you know that okay, st.cache decorator is not the only way you can use caching mechanism, but there are some experimental cache primitives that they are trying it out, so you can also look at that. And all this information, like for example, this documentation is really comprehensive, so you can add more details to it. And the second thing that I wanted to tell you is that this application, like I said, currently doesn't handle a lot of test cases. It doesn't handle any attacks that somebody might happen, like maybe they might run an infinite loop. So it doesn't handle any of those things. So when you deploy something on the internet, public deployment, production environment, you need to make sure that your application is robust enough so nobody can attack your application. I mean, attack in the sense nobody is going to take hammer and hit it, but like using some SQL injection or some kind of method that might bring down your application or bring down the server. So you need to make sure that those things will not happen. So make sure that you handle the test case, make sure that only one letter is taken from this text box. So all those conditions are something that you can handle and you can improve upon. I'm going to link this code in the YouTube description. So all you have to do is you have to go to the GitHub repository that I'm going to link, and then fork the repository, and then download the repository, and then start working on it. So you simply have everything in ready. If you do not want to edit the code, you just want to practice Streamlit Cloud deployment, all you have to do is sign up for Streamlit. After you fork it, you will have a new name. So probably if your GitHub repository or GitHub name is, let's say, ABCD, so now you would have github.com/abcd/Wordle riskluver. So now all you have to do is use that URL and then deploy it here. Now at this point, while we were discussing, our Streamlit application has been successfully deployed. Let me close the side screen. I don't want to look at it, and then I can try to give some words. For example, let's say if I have a guest, U is one word, E is another word, R is another word, and Y is another word. Now I have like 4 letters, and I can go see what are the word clues that are available. Buyer, query, rebuy. And I'm not kidding you, for finding this answer I really struggle. Sometimes I was wondering like why am I even working in data science if I cannot guess this word? But that's part of the fun and game in playing Wordle. So this application, as you can see now, it is completely deployed. It is available for anybody in the world. All you have to do is copy this URL, then share it with your friends, and you are helping them. Whether you're helping them or not, that's a different topic altogether, whether you're ruining their party or not. But you have successfully learned to deploy your first Streamlit application. That's quite fun, trending these days, and everybody can make use of it. And if this is something that interests you, I'm going to make 7 more Streamlit application like this, 7 next days. So I strongly recommend you to follow 8 days of Streamlit. Let me know about the name, and also stay safe. Happy coding.